Alright, in certain areas of the world we have coconuts in our survival situations. In Florida, unfortunately, they don't grow in the wild, but you will find them all over. People plant them as landscape plants, and they're perfectly fine to just grab if they don't care. I want to talk to you about the differences because this one can get you in trouble in a survival situation if you drink too much of it, and I'll explain that here. Now first we'll talk about the green coconuts. What you get out of these is just fresh juice. It's pretty much like water. You can drink more of this than you can the other because this does not have the oils like the brown coconuts have, which are older. These are younger. And what you do, I'm going to show you here, take a cat, get yourself a sharp knife. Okay, now note, the flesh is white. Now if that were pink or discolored at all or brown, then that means you might have a rancid coconut. So what you do next is just punch it. It's pressurized. Now there is a tool you can have that'll actually cut this out perfectly for you. But this works as well. Then cut yourself a little spout to pour off of. Okay. Fill this one up with this juice. Okay, and sometimes you actually get white meat on the inside of these, and just gotta split it. Okay. Sometimes you'll get white meat that you can actually eat from here. There's really none on here. It's too young yet. But eventually your white meat starts going, and you can sometimes scrape some out of here. But this one doesn't have any. Let's see, now we have some perfectly fine. It tastes good. You can drink a lot of this. It's not going to give you diarrhea. Okay. Now, as we move on to this one's a little different. It's got a lot more uses. The husk, which is this part when it matures, you can use for tinder and bedding and shelter and you name it, you can probably do it. These things are very useful. And you can use this as a cup. And what I usually do, I wouldn't recommend using the back of your knife. If you have a rock, use that. But you can use the back of your knife and whack this all the way around, and you will break that coconut right in half. Wherever you hit it, that percussion is going to crack right there. It's going to make it weak in that spot, and you can crack it and make it into a bowl, a cup, whatever. I have a video where I made a steamer with one of these. It was pretty cool. So there's a soft part in each one. There's two hard and two soft. You just got to find the soft one and puncture through it. Here it is. And you're going to take something, poke a hole, open it up. Alright, we got all our milk out of that brown, old, aged coconut. And smell it. It doesn't smell rancid. You got to make sure you don't have a rancid one. I've opened one of these up and taken a drink of a rancid one, and it burned my mouth. It was bad. So it's best to smell it. Pour it out first before you drink it straight out of the coconut, because you don't want to drink that. It's disgusting. But this one's good. It's good coconut milk, and you notice the differences here. You know, this is out of our green coconut. This is out of our brown coconut. This one's clear. It's more like water. Now, what this has in it is a lot more oil, and that's what can give you diarrhea if you drink too much of it. So when you're drinking brown ones, just kind of quench your thirst, nourish yourself a little bit. You know, obviously you need water. If this is your only source of water, drink this and get diarrhea, you know, because you need water. And you just have to keep drinking them. But if you can find green ones, this water is perfectly fine. You can drink this all day. It tastes really good, really fresh. Now I'm going to show you what we do next is take our coconut. I'm going to use my rock that I use. This is my splitting rock. Okay, that's all it takes. Splits it right open. Now we have all this. Okay, now what can you do with this meat here? Well, you can take and spoon it out. I usually use a knife. You can take and pop these right out. Show you here. Okay. You just pry like that, this whole thing will pop off like that. You just take it and just eat it like that. Now, I'm going to make a separate video on making coconut oil. You know, you take this, pop all this out, you know, based on like say 4 coconuts, grind them up in a blender, add a little water. You're going to squish all the milk out, boil it down and such, and you've got coconut oil. And it's quite useful. You know, you can eat it if you need to for quick nourishment. I mean, how many ointments and oils can you do that with? And you can use it to cook with, you can use it topically. It's good for your skin, good as a sunblock, might help your chapped lips. It's good stuff. There's more uses for this than I can name. But as you see here, now I have a nice little bowl I can drink out of, you know, use as a mortar and pestle, whatever I need to use it for. My steamer, I use this as the bottom filled with water, and this was the top of the steam hole here. Worked pretty good. So when you're looking at these coconuts, just make sure your meat's, like I said, not rancid. And go out and get some green coconuts and some brown coconuts and start experimenting.